Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Walking the Path. I am really grateful to be here. I'm so grateful. It's such a great day. It's such a great day. So much is going on in the world. And it's really important to still find gratitude. You know, when we say that we're a spiritual individual, it doesn't mean that we bypass things. But even when things are going wrong, when we are nurturing our connection to spirit, when the circumstances and conditions of life shift, we're still rooted in a fundamental understanding that life is good. Everything is working together for good. Not that everything's good, but everything's working together for good. And so even with all the things that are going on in the world right now, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And one of the things that I've just really clued into recently is we transform the world through our seeing. That when we change, that we're not experiencing reality, we're experiencing our thoughts and opinions and judgments and perspectives and points of view about reality. And as we can move away and eliminate opinion and judgment, we begin to see through the form, through the expression, through the circumstance, through the condition, to what is real, capital R, what is true, capital T. This is the process of transforming the world through our seeing. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining. Anyway, this is kind of part of the topic, but that just came out. So here we are. Welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And so grateful to be here. So grateful to be, I'm in Costa Rica because of rythmia. I came here 7.5 years ago and I found a home with all my brothers and sisters who work at rythmia, the most amazing group of people you'll ever meet. I've never worked at an organization where, when the difference between what you want to do and what you have to do is really narrow, is it work? I don't know. I don't feel like it's work. I feel like it's really close to what I want to do and what I have to do. That's a really wonderful place to be in life. And I'm grateful. And that's what I get to do at rythmia, among other things. So I want to acknowledge rythmia. And I want to let people know that at rythmia right now, Taito Juanito is at rythmia this week. We have a full house, transformation. Oh my God. And if you guys knew what happened behind the scenes, how much the staff is working, focused on each person there to ensure that they receive a life-changing miracle, it's amazing. It's amazing. So if you're looking for a life-changing miracle, if you want to experience letting go of old patterns, stepping into your authentic self, forgiving and healing, rythmia is the place to do it. So take a look. Now, this talk is under the auspices of that. Now I get to do the talk, and the talk is we've been doing this month of January a series of talks on spirituality. And today's talk is living spirituality every day. Martha Stewart, living spiritually. Okay, anyway. So just to recap, our previous talks were on exploring spirituality, tools for alignment, and overcoming obstacles. You can look back and see those talks. And if you want to follow up. So we talked about exploring what it means to be spiritual, looking for tools for alignment. Last week was overcoming obstacles to spirituality. And this week, we're going to set the tone for living spiritually in everyday life. Living spiritually doesn't mean that you're like the Maharaji or, a saint. No. Living spiritual means bringing connection and insight and inspired action and growth into everything we do. That's really what it means. And so, let's talk about that. What does it mean to live spiritually? What does it mean to be a spiritual person? Spiritually living is connecting to source, which is the highest part of ourselves, right? It's the highest part of us. I like to think of it like the spectrum of light. There's visible light and there's invisible light, right? Let's talk about red and infrared. There's red, the color red, which we can see, and infrared, which we can't see, but it's all red. It's all red. It's just different spectrums. And I think of that like us, like there's this visible spectrum of who I am, and there's an invisible spectrum of who I am. Physics tells us there's the toric field, the electromagnetic field. It's an extension of our beingness. So there's the visible form and the invisible form. So when I mean connect to source, connect to spirit, I'm not talking about a man in the sky. I'm not talking about Santa Claus. I'm not talking about a person. I'm not talking about something outside of us. I'm talking about the mystery of life, people. The simple mystery of life. It's immanent and transcendent. That's it. Okay, talk over. Pretty much, that's all we got to understand, right? But we're talking about the highest part of us is the God within. The innermost God and the uppermost God are the same God, not a projection of humanness, this person that gets angry and gives things and takes things away. That's human, not divine. We're talking about the highest part of us, the best of us, is the nature and name of God within us. And so we want to connect, we want to deepen. What does it mean to live spiritually? It means that we're working on deepening our relationship with source within us through practices like meditation and prayer. Meditation, meditation, meditation. By taking the time to extract ourselves from thinking, all this thinking that we're doing, thinking about stuff, opinions and judgments, all of that is mitigating our experiencing reality as it really is. What's so, the presentness, the eternal now. The power of now, a little book you might have heard of. So connection and meditation is the key to this. We talked about this in the other talks. Meditation, and I'm not talking about guided meditation, transcendental meditation, or walking meditation, or mantra, any of those styles of meditation are beautiful. But for our connection to source, I'm talking about silence and watching your breath at least 2 times a day to check in so we can trust ourselves. Connection. And from that connection, there are moments, not all the time, but moments when we receive insights, downloads, new shift in perception, direction. That's the insight that we receive. And then we take inspired action based on the insights that we receive for our growth. This is what it means to live spiritually, that we're connected. We receive insights. We take inspired action for our growth. That's the simple result of staying connected. And spiritual living is not reserved for special moments in the maloka or a ceremony. It means that we bring spirituality to our everyday life. In the book of Exodus, there's a story of Moses taking the elders up to see the burning bush. He takes them to see the burning bush, which must have been pretty crazy. And they come down and it says, they saw the face of God and then they ate and drank. At first I was like, okay, they saw the divine and then they partied, but no, they saw the face of God. They had an ecstatic experience of oneness. And then they returned to the regular activities of daily life with a new sense. They brought a joy. They brought a love. They brought a peace. They brought it to the daily life. This is what spiritual living is. Hello, all my brothers just joining on. I see you. Thank you. Spiritual living isn't reserved for special moments. It's that we bring heaven to earth. We bring the ecstatic connection in the Maloka, the ecstatic connection in plant medicine, the ecstatic connection in meditation, the ecstatic connection in dance, the ecstatic connection that we feel with our loved one. We bring that into our daily lives. And, this just reinforces the old story from Buddha. Buddha, what'd you do? Buddha, you're enlightened now. Are you going to Disneyland? No. Buddha, what did you do before enlightenment? And Buddha said, I chopped wood and I carried water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. The enlightenment isn't living as a guru, although, wow, be cool, right? Or maybe, I don't know. But enlightenment is bringing the joy into everyday life, bringing heaven to earth, bringing the highest part of ourselves into our daily life. Spirituality doesn't remove us from the world, but actually calls us to engage more fully and deeply. Okay, so how about some practical ways to live spiritually? You don't have to be a monk. You don't have to stop your daily life. We just want to get in touch with what we want and what we need. This is one of the keys to living spiritually, is what do you want and what do you need? What do I want? What do I need? Knowing that aligns our fire, our desire, and gives us power to be agents in our lives. So knowing what you want and knowing what you need before engaging in any activity is super important. And one great way to know what you want and know what you need in any activity, and a way to bring spirituality and practical ways to bring it into our lives, is to set spiritual intentions, not just for the day, although that's a great meditation. What's my intention for the day? Beautiful. But how about setting an intention before you have dinner with your family? What about setting an intention before you go on that walk? What about setting an intention for this meeting? What about setting an intention before I did this talk? Setting intentions for even the mundane tasks of life begins to hone our power. You are more powerful than you know. All the power that created all the heavens and all the earth are within you. The part contains the whole. Quantum physics tells us the holographic nature of the universe is that the part contains all of the qualities of the whole. So all the qualities of God are within you and within me. All the love, all the beauty, all the power, all the intelligence, all the wisdom, all the creativity, all the excellence, all the peace, all the joy, all of it. And by setting intentions, being intentional about our activities, the mundane activities of life, we begin to bring the sacred into the daily life. We begin to bring joy and love and peace and beauty and intelligence and wisdom into our daily lives. Not only setting intentions, but asking empowering questions. I just had a really beautiful experience yesterday to remind me that the most important thing that I can do is ask the question, how can I serve today? In fact, that's a song from Agape. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? I'm singing it wrong, but how can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? A powerful guiding principle for intentional living is, how can I be of service? How can I be of service here? And knowing that when we are of service to the spirit of truth, the spirit of love, the spirit of beauty, when we're in service to that, spirit shall render unto us an equivalent of all needs met, of peace, of health, of vitality, of all needs when we are of service. Another way to bring a practical way to bring spirituality and to live spiritually into our everyday life is to be present and have compassion. Mindfulness is all the thing now, right? 20 years ago, it was a fringe idea. But now bringing lives is a way to just slow down. Even eating, I just notice how much I'm automatic, and to just slow down and be aware, to slow down and notice when I'm walking, to feel the earth beneath my feet, to feel the breeze, to take a moment. I come from a big family, and my mom would put on these big parties just for the immediate family. My brothers and sisters, their husbands and wives and kids were like 35 people. So we'd be rushing around on Thanksgiving or a birthday. That our immediate family at one time was 35. And it's a lot of work to put on a party for 35 people. My mom would be cooking and we'd be setting stuff up, getting ready, getting the table set, a lot of stuff. And before people arrived, she'd stop and say, let's enjoy the sacrament of the moment. And I used to be like, all right, Mom, whatever, we got to get this done. But this is an example of bringing mindfulness. Let's just stop right now before just to appreciate this moment right now. How am I paying my bills? Am I upset when I pay my bills, or do I bring mindfulness to it and know, like when I pay my phone bill, I'm really grateful for my phone. It connects me to life. It does all sorts of great stuff. I'm really happy with that arrangement. When I'm washing dishes, it means I had some food to eat. Can I be mindful of and connect with each moment? Now, don't beat yourself up when we don't do it, when we slip. Reverend Kathleen McNamara from Agape had a great saying. I love her. She said, I'm not asking to never fall asleep again. I'm just asking to wake up faster when I do. I love that. I just want to wake up faster when I do. And so self-compassion is really important, that we offer ourselves patience and kindness, especially when we feel like we've fallen short, when we didn't meet the mark, when I wasn't loving in my heart, when I wasn't present, when I didn't set an intention, when I didn't. It's okay. It's okay. Patience, compassion. We're building a spiritual muscle. And then gratitude, obviously, is a beautiful tool for recognizing the blessings and lessons in each moment, and aligns us with our spiritual values of integrity and peace and love, and helps us be more reflective of our inner truth. When we are grateful, and I mean finding one or two things that we're really, really grateful for, that we're immensely grateful for, that I can tap into. Maybe there's a couple of times in your life that there's something, a moment in your life that you're immensely grateful for. Have that on recall, so that when the going gets tough, you can call on that and remember. If you can't find anything to be grateful for in the moment, you can be grateful for it, for something that happened that makes you immensely grateful. Okay. And then I told the story earlier about chopping wood and carry water from the Buddha, right? This illustrates that spiritual living is ordinary. It's the ordinary things of our daily life. It's more about acceptance than it is transformation. And spiritual growth isn't about escaping something, being in a monastery or at a retreat. It's about engaging fully in our life with intention, to bring the sacred into the mundane every day. So there are still some challenges to living spiritually. Often we try to fit our, if you're wanting to start a new spiritual practice, maybe want to start meditation, and we're trying to fit our meditation into our daily life. It's how it starts. Eventually, your life will fit into your spiritual practice. Eventually, your life will fit into your spiritual practice. Over time, we build this spiritual muscle, and life itself becomes the practice. Give it time, little by little. Over the holidays, it was busy, and I was traveling, and I had guests, and it had been about a month since I worked out or exercised or moved my body at all. So I got to rebuild that muscle. And so I got to be gentle with myself as I start again this week, back again, moving my body. And remember the 4 levels of integration that we move through these. First we're incompetent and we're unconscious. We're unconscious and we're incompetent. We don't even know that we're missing something, and we're totally incompetent at whatever we're missing. Then I become conscious. I really want to start this practice, but I'm incompetent at it. And then I'm conscious, and when I try really hard, I can do it. I can do the practice, but sometimes I fall. So I go back between conscious incompetent and conscious competent. And that's a loop, and we're integrating it into our lives until finally we're completely unconscious and totally competent. I don't think about tying my shoes anymore. I'm completely unconscious, but very competent at tying my shoes. So remember, give yourself some grace as you try to bring these new practices into your life, bring something new, start something new. It's going to take some time. There will be a kind of eddy of going from conscious incompetent to conscious competent until it's embodied. Integration, embodiment, second nature. So remember, as long as we're just moving forward an inch, as long as we're just moving forward a little bit, you're making progress. It's progress, not perfection. So give your inching forward. Keep inching forward, inch by inch, it's a cinch. Okay, little by little. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All those freaking cliches, well, they're true, so let's use them. And the worst part of all this is comparison. I'm not like them. They're so much more than me. I can't do it. Whatever it is, forget comparison. The only comparison you need to make is between you and who you want to be, who you see yourself, what you see possible for you. So honor your own unique path and your own unique pace. Okay. One example of bringing this idea of spirituality into my everyday life, I'll share with you before we close. Opinion and judgment mitigate my experience of reality. We need judgment and opinion. I want to have opinion about stepping in front of a bus, or a train, or walking down a dark alley in the middle of the night in New York City. That's good judgment. But so often my opinions and judgments color and shift my perception of reality. I'm perceiving my own opinions and judgments about reality. So recently I was really taking this to heart, really, really working with this in meditation. And something that happens sometimes in meditation, I got a cramp in my foot. And normally I would have moved my foot. This time I realized that I had a judgment that the cramp was bad. So I was like, okay, let's release the judgment on this. And just experience the cramp. And even naming it a cramp is a judgment. Just experience the sensation that I was having in my body. When I did that, the sensation went away. We change our world. Living spiritually is living with spiritual sight. And we change our world. We have a magical way of changing our very world by changing the eyes through which we see. This is a great way to bring spirituality into our everyday life. And maybe you can reflect on moments of spiritual connection in your daily life. I'd love to hear your comments. And I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful to have this talk with you. I look forward to sharing next week is spirituality as a foundation for radiant living. Radiant living. That's what we want. We want to live radiantly. Okay. Thank you for joining today. I'm sending you much love, peace, and richest blessings.